Have you ever been frustrated that you're listening to people talk, native North American English speakers, and you're thinking, did they even say the words that I know their meaning was? I feel like I just heard a bunch of mumbled sounds together, and I don't even know how they got there. I swear I heard gimme, gotcha. What words were they actually saying? What's happening there? If you want to increase your naturalness in English speaking, you want to increase your speed and get that high level of linking, if you will, then contractions are the way to go. So let's learn them. I'll give you lots of examples. I want you to get really good at this, so let's get into practice. Hello, I'm Rebecca Bauer. I am an accent modification coach. I am also a speech language pathologist, and I help clients all around the world speak English with clarity and confidence so that they do feel like they're being understood, and that's what I want to help you do today. Today we're going to talk about contractions, another just big fancy term that explains how we muddle all the words together. You might actually be thinking, there's no way North American speakers actually say that. Listen hard enough and you'll hear it everywhere. I didn't say you will, I said you'll. You'll hear it everywhere. And once you notice it, it's very difficult to not hear it all the time. So let's dig right into it. What the heck is a contraction? A contraction is when we are taking two words, squish them together, we're reducing both forms, and we're creating a brand new mushed up version. An example is, it is will be pronounced as it's. It's. So we're linking the words together. In some cases, we will be dropping actual sounds. We're dropping the vowel in is, smushing them together, or linking, and we're going to say it's. Now, many people will ask about contractions and say, well, that's probably just for very, very low quality, casual conversations. In reality, you will hear contractions in nearly every conversation, whether it be a presentation, even corporate type of speaking. High level and formal speech will also involve contractions. So it's not that you are speaking in any kind of too casual a way if you use these. This is kind of something you hear everywhere. Now, I do run across many of my clients when they're reading a document to me and I'm listening to their speech, the contractions are the things that don't really show up. So they'd read, I would go, or they would go, or it is his, rather than they'd, I'd, it's. Let's start with is. If you have the words he is, yes, in written form, you would likely see the two words generally, unless it's some kind of dialogue. But when you're speaking, you're going to generally link those together and contract them into the contracted form, he's. He's, with a Z sound for those is, he's. She is, she's. Now this also applies to questions like who is and where is. Who is will turn to whose. Whose. Who is going to the party? Who's going to the party? How is how's. How is your day going? How's your day going? How's. How's. Even why is. Why is he late? Why is he late? Why is he late? Okay, so I want you to hear that linking and the contraction there for is. Now another common contraction is with the word would. I would, you would, she would. So we reduce the word would to just a d sound. So instead of I would, you'll hear I'd. I would go, I'd go. I'd go. You would turns to you'd. You would have thought so. You'd have thought so. You'd have thought so. She would. She'd. She would absolutely go. She'd absolutely go. She'd. The same goes for questions. So how would, how'd. How would you explain that? How would you explain that? Why would? Why would she do that? Why'd she do that? Why'd she do that? When would? When'd? Believe it or not, when would she arrive? Or when would you think she'd arrive? When did you think she'd arrive? She would? She'd. Where would he put it? Where'd he put it? Where did he put it? So hearing that little D pronunciation is going to help you link, create faster speech and more natural North American pronunciation in conversation. Have is another very common word to contract. I have. I've been there before. You have. You've. You have gone. You've gone. We have. We have been there before. We've been there before. Why have? Why've. Believe it or not. Why have you done that? Why've. Why've you done that? How have. How've. How have you been? How've you been? How've. Another is will. So let's contract will. It turns to just an ul. We're really reducing that word into ul. So if it's I will, I'll. These are fairly well-known words that are contracted, but there might be some you might not recognize. He will, he'll. He'll be here. She will, she'll. She'll arrive later. Who will, who'll. Who will come to the party will become who'll. Who'll be here? Who'll come to the party? Where will? Where'll. Where'll you be? Where will you be? Where'll you be? Where'll you go tomorrow? Where'll. Now, if you found even a tiny bit of this useful to you, click on that thumbs up, that little mitten hand guy, share it with someone you know that you think might actually benefit from this information. Practice listening to each other and throwing them in your conversations. Now, the first thing is just being aware that this does happen and it occurs everywhere in conversation. So one, I want you to start listening for it and noticing it in your movies and TV shows and conversations with colleagues and friends. Let's talk about a couple weird ones. Words like have to, going to, and has to. The to generally just kind of turns into a t. Has to, has to, has to. He has to go. He has to go. He has to go. Has to. She has to finish it. She has to. She has to get there. She has to get there on time. Has to. Going to. Gonna. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna finish it. I swear. There's also give me and let me. There's a lot of gimme and lemme. Give me a call later. Give me a call. Give me a call later. Let me know. Let me. Just let me know. Let me know. Let me know when you know. Let me help you. Let me help you with that. Let me help you. So you can hear lemmy if you listen carefully enough. Now, the craziness doesn't stop there with English. We do a lot of other really ridiculous things. You might have known about some of these, maybe some of these were new, but in my next lesson, I'm going to tell you about some really ridiculous stuff we do in English when it comes to pronunciation. So this is all about reductions. This is when we say a lotta, instead of a lot of. Here, I'm going to share with you some amazing tips that will help you to link your speech, sound a bit more natural, a bit more fluent. If that's what you're looking for, check out that video. It's the one to check out. If there's anything else you want to learn about English pronunciation and you want to find out more, go to my website, the link's below, proactivepronunciation.com. You can check out my book, my audiobook. I've got a course with amazing practice, like the kind of practice that blows you away because you cannot believe there's that much there. I also do one-on-one coaching if you feel like you need some actual individual help. But if you prefer to just join me in the next video, I will share more of what I know right here on this channel, and I'm going to keep giving you lots of crazy good info and great tips. So I'll see you at the next one. See you there.